All right, employee training. Sounds good. Let's get started with employee training then. Employee training. All right. So before we go there, let's go to our presentation first. And as you can see, it's AI and human working together. There is no AI who does everything all by itself, and there is no human in today's time who can do everything all by itself and quickly get done with everything that needs to be done. So it's a combination of AI and human. Uh, Either way, there's no single entity who can do everything at a time, and that's what it's all about when we talk about 5 SEO game changers for 2024. So this is our topic, and we will be covering 5 SEO secrets, which definitely works in 2024. And let's get started with the first one. Here you go. It says 5 questions and user intended answers. So what we usually do is we add, FAQs in our blog post or maybe on our, service pages or product pages, and we write typical answers to it and get done with it. But that's not going to work anymore. You need to be a little more user centric when you're writing the answers, and you have to write something which is not so common and yet engaging for users. So add questions that are important and popular among readers. So try to add people also ask questions. And secondly, write answers that are original and a little creative in nature. So what we usually do is, now there is AI everywhere around and it's getting advanced day by day. All we do is we just use AI to write the answers for the questions. And I'm sure a lot of people are doing this, and there are also people who are not doing this, and that is great. But this suggestion that I'm going to give you right now is for both of the people who are either doing using AI at at utmost level and creating answers, or people who are writing it all manually for the questions that they have in mind for the users. So what you need to be doing is, when you write the answers, you need to be a little more creative in nature, and just putting up a regular answer for the question will not work, because that is what everyone has been doing until 2023. And you need to be a little creative. When I say original and creative, that means that you need to put additional information in your answer, which may contain examples, charts, or testimonials, or many other things that could be added and which could give more value and knowledge to the users. So just don't write the typical answers, rather try to put up something which really differentiates from what all others are doing, and give some more information in the answers, and not just 2 to 3 or 4 lines of answers that would be apt and getting done with it. So this is the first SEO secret that will definitely work in 2024. Should the question be in a topic or FAQ, or it doesn't matter? Should the question be in a topic or FAQ? It doesn't matter. I think FAQ is a bit old-fashioned. Yes, it can be topic or it can be FAQ. Doesn't matter. I'm just talking about question. So whether you put it up in FAQ, yes, FAQ is definitely old-fashioned. But let me tell you one thing here as well, that there are a lot of people who are so so used to scrolling down the page just to check what are the FAQs and what are the frequently asked questions, and getting all the knowledge, 360 knowledge that they can get out of reading those questions under FAQ. So FAQ is old fashioned, no doubt in that, but it is equally important as well, because people go there down specially to check what are the FAQs. So whether you put it up in topic, whether you put it up in FAQ, regardless, you need to be original as well as little creative in nature. And let's get started with outranking and how we do this here. So this is the dashboard where you see all your documents. You can club them up in folders, and you can organize everything that you are creating using outranking. Let's quickly go ahead and click on new document. Outranking provides three different types of documents, or three different type of workflows, you can say. The first one is SEO brief. So let's say you have a bunch of writers who are writing content for you all by themselves manually, or maybe using some multiple tools to generate content, but they are not sure what to include when it comes to SEO optimization. So this is the brief that you can give it to your writers, and that will include all the minute details that needs to be considered while they are writing the content. So whether it's NLP terms, related keywords, semantic variations, perfect user intended outlines, or title, or what should be the goal to achieve with this particular content that they are writing, what should be the user intent, every minute detail, even the competitive analysis of top 20 pages of your competitors. All of those information will be under SEO brief. You can just give it to your writers, and they will exactly know what all to include when they start writing all by themselves. So this is SEO brief. Secondly, let's move on to the most popular one, that is AI assisted SEO writing. So wherein we create the entire content using from scratch, assisted by AI. From scratch, when I say from scratch, means like creating title, user intended outlines, and then putting up sub settings when it comes to tone of writing, and then generating an SEO optimized draft, or either using prompts to generate content, and then optimizing it further. So that all comes under AI assisted writing. And the third one is optimize existing content. So let's say you already have web page, and you would like to audit it, analyze it, and see what's wrong with it. You can add the URL here, or you can leave it empty if you have a document somewhere, maybe a doc file which you want to analyze or audit it. So if you don't have a URL, you can just leave this empty, add the primary keyword or topic, and get started with creating new document. And later on, you can just copy paste the content from the doc file to the editor and refresh the SEO score, and you will see that it will analyze the entire content for you, and it will come up with all the suggestions that you can do to your content to optimize it further. So let's get started using AI assisted writing, because that covers almost every aspect of what we need to do. So training, employee training is the keyword that we will be taking forward. Before we go forward, let's click on advanced settings. And here's the location. You can change the location to a city, state, or even country. So this is very important. Like, if you are doing local marketing and getting some local, inquiries, traffic, you can change this to city or state as well. And outranking will go into sort of collect information from top 20 ranking pages of that particular location. So you will be analyzing, outranking along with you will be analyzing and giving you suggestions on the right competitors that you need to target and outrank them. So make sure that you're putting up the right location, and then let's quickly go ahead and click on create new document. Now this will take maybe 10 odd seconds, and we should be moving forward with our first screen, that is creating a title. Here we go. So this is the first screen that you see, and the workflow of the entire system to create content, optimize content, is very simple and straightforward. All you need to do is just follow the workflow steps. So this is the workflow, and these are the 5 steps that are under the workflow. All you need to do is just follow the steps one by one in a right sequence. So currently we are on the title step, and outranking has generated some intent driven unique titles for you automatically. So these are the titles which are newly written. These are not rewritten. These are not copy pasted. These are newly written titles. You can generate more if you're not satisfied. You can edit it right here by clicking here if you want to, and select the one that really goes with your intent and use case. So let's select, let's say, employee training essentials, both boost skills and productivity. Maximize your top employee training strategies for success. Let's say we take this one for example. It says the target is 10 keywords, and currently we are just targeting 7 keywords. The one that are in green, which we are targeting with this particular title, the one which are in red, we are not targeting them. So you can click on see more, and you can see all of the entire list of all the title of all the keywords that you can target in your title only. So let's say, for example, we select something else. And here you go, master employee training, definition and best practice tips. Here you are targeting 12 keywords and there are only few which you are not targeting. So you can, just move forward with this one, or if it makes sense to add something here, you can add it up manually as well. So let's say a master employee training programs. So training program is something that has been used a lot. So what you can do is program is something that we can add up here. And now see, you are targeting 15 keywords. But again, as I said earlier as well, like, don't try to force any keyword in your title, outlines, or in your content. The first thing that you need to look into is it should match the user intent and it should definitely match your use case. So just adding keyword just for the sake of it is not going to work in 2024 at all. Adding keywords, targeting keywords is not the primary focus anymore in 2024. Let me make this very loud and clear, because that is what most of the people have been doing till now. Like, they are focusing so much on keywords, 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 that they are compromising, sacrificing on the content that they are creating in one way or the other. And it feels like they are creating content for themselves, but not for the readers. And that's how they are losing out on user intent. So just make sure that you are adding things which really, really make sense. And once you select the title, Outranking will automatically identify what sort of web page you're trying to write here. And this is something very important. If you click here, these are all the types of web pages that Outranking writes for you, whether it's landing page or product comparison page or e-commerce page or recipe page, service page. It writes all sort of pages for you. You can select something else from here as well, but this is what outranking is identified on the basis of the title. And now when you move on to the next step, that is outline, outranking will create outlines for you automatically, which are state of art, user intended, on the basis of the web page type that you have selected. So make sure you are selecting the right web page type and then you click on outline. And now we are going on to the second step of the workflow, that is outline. And now outranking will generate some intent-driven unique outlines using research and keywords automatically for you. And it will come up with a 360 perspective of ideas for H2s and H3s that you can add in your content, and which are mostly user intended. So here you go. Outranking has generated 29 outlines for you. The typical range is 24 to 51. So try to be in this range. Don't go way too overboard. Don't go way too underboard as well. Try to be in this range. So if you have 22 or 23, that's fine. If you have around 52 or 53, that is fine as well. But don't go up to 55 or maybe lesser than 20. So try to be in this range, and this is going to help you out. Now let's look into the H2s and H3s that Outranking is generated for you for employee training. Elevating your workforce, mastering employee training, decoding the definition, the critical importance, charting the course for successful training, identifying the goals, analyzing needs, best practice tips for effective employee training, personalized learning, leveraging technology, crafting impactful employee training content, engaging versus informative, striking the right balance, continuous update, maximizing learning outcomes, measuring effectiveness, evaluating training impact on performance, feedback loops, using critics to refine training approaches. It's talking sense, right? Like it's talking in the right manner, what all needs to be included. It will try to cover up points which might not, which you might have, slipped out in your mind, and you will definitely find out certain topics like this here, which you can definitely add, and which your users would be expecting to read somewhere to get some more knowledge. So I always say that try to spend most of the time on the outline step, because if your outlines are perfect, apt, not more not less, you will be doing most of your work here, and rest all will be cakewalk. You will be doing less editing, your content will be up to the mark, and you will be doing the best out of using outranking. So, and outranking lastly will come up with FAQs as well. If you want to have it, you can have it, or if you want to put it up somewhere in between, as one of the attendee just said some time back, you can put up and grab, drag and drop it somewhere else as well if you want to, and create an H2 out of it or H3. You can do that all by dragging and dropping it and change the sequence. So here are a few of the FAQs. Look into it. If they make sense to you and if they seems to be popular enough, you can have them. You can edit it by just clicking here and editing it. Or let's say, let's remove few of them from here and let's look into the left side of the window. So here are the keywords that you need to try and target in your outline. The target is minimum 17 plus. You are targeting 23. So you're good to go. But you can try and add more by just editing and manually adding a keyword that makes sense to you. So this is one thing that you can do and try and target keywords which really make sense to your use case. Secondly, below you will see the top 20 ranking pages which are already ranking for this particular topic, that is employee training in United States. And you can click on expand all and you can see what sort of outlines they are writing in the form of H2s and H3s. So if you're missing out on something, you can simply click here and that will be added to your outline at the bottom. You can rephrase it, and this way you're not missing out on anything that your competitors have. Meanwhile, you also have something unique in the form of outline. So you can rephrase it and just keep it up here, and make sure that you are adding up right things in your outline. So this is one thing that you should definitely look into your competitors' outlines. And secondly, this top 20 pages are also added to background research. So when we talk about any AI tool, let's say Chat GPT, Cloud A, or a lot of tools which are there in market, the most important thing is that the content that is getting generated shouldn't come from haywire from anywhere. The background research has to be solid behind it, right? So that's why we add the top 20 pages at the background research. So the probability of generating content which is really good in nature and which is factual as well is very, very high when you have the top 20 pages, because they are already ranking, because Google thinks that those pages are really good. So this is something important that we do, and we add the top 20 pages as a background research to feed AI so that AI can consider that information of those top 20 pages and start writing the content in absolutely new manner. So this is one thing. Now, as we were on our first secret, that is adding the power questions. Now let's look into it. Here is a questions tab. Click on it. And you will see all the people also ask questions, that outranking comes out with it, categorically in a different tab. So these are all the popular questions that people are usually searching on Google. So you're getting the entire list of those questions that are very much popular. If they make sense to you, you can simply click here and add them up in your outline. And then you can simply drag and drop it and put it up in FAQs as well if you want to, or you can just leave it the way it is, or look into it in detail, add things which really make sense, and get the perfect questions on your outline. Secondly, something very important that I would like to show here is, so let's say, okay, let me add up this one as well. I'm just putting up in FAQs. Now, let's say if you want to add a custom H2. Let's say you have a outline in mind that you would like to add manually. You click on add H2 here and you can add your own outline here. And that is, let's say what are the key points of effective employee training. You might be having 2 to 3 points in mind that it would be very much effective for employee training, but you are not sure what all could be added in the form of the key points. You would like to get some ideas. You can click on H3 ideas and outranking will generate some H3 ideas for you on the basis of the H2 that you have created here. Here you go. So identifying training needs and objective, designing engaging and relevant training content, delivering training using suitable methods and technologies, ensuring active participation, applying adult learning principles, including hands-on practical experience. So it has come up with a lot of key points. You can just keep the things that you really want and remove everything else, and make sure that you have the perfect H3s for the H2 that you have just created manually. So this is one thing that you can definitely do here and then move forward. Now, let's move on to the next part of our SEO secrets, the point number 2, that is quality background research. Now, why this is very important? Custom research is key to better quality output. So obviously, right, like if you do it manually all by yourself, or if you use AI, you have to make sure that you are giving your best when it comes to gaining the knowledge So the first thing that you will do, you will Google your topic, you will learn information, you will read it, you will gain a lot of information about that topic, and then you will start writing in your typical style, right? Because now you have gained knowledge, you will be able to write content in a typical style, and it feels like you are a little expert about the topic. So it is very important, even if you're using AI, you are feeding the right custom background research to AI so that it can generate a very superlative content output. So custom research is key to better quality output. Show Google you are an expert about the topic. And how you will show that? You are using AI. You are not using your hands to write the content entirely. You are using AI. You will have to feed background research to AI so that AI gains all of that knowledge and then starts writing accordingly. And thirdly, it will also help you to generate factual content, right? So let's look into it, this particular topic in detail. Here we are on the outline step. We are still on the second step of the workflow, that is outline. And now, so as I said earlier, like these are the top 20 pages which have been added to the background research already. So there are high chances that the content generated will be really good. But you cannot just leave it on AI or technology and just grab a cup of coffee and come and publish your content. That is not going to work in 2024. So what you need to do is you need to look into your top 20 competitors and make sure that none of them are irrelevant. So I have seen a lot of times that unfortunately there are links from Amazon or Reddit or Wikipedia which are ranking in top 20, and they might not have factual information, and that is really going to harm you because that is what you are feeding to AI as well. So in that case, if you see anything which is irrelevant and you would like to remove it, you can simply click on this particular topic in this particular icon, and this particular URL will be removed from the entire background research. So the content under it, everything will be removed from the background research. This is not going to be counted moving forward. And this is helping you to do the custom background research for the content that you want to generate. So make sure that you are looking into the top 20 ranking pages first thing. Secondly, let's say you are writing about a topic which you know really well, and you have done some research about it already, but you're still using a system to generate content quickly. You can click on add URLs, and you can add all the URLs that you think are having really good content on them, regardless if they are competitors URL or not. Any URL which is not in top 20, but still it has really good content, you can add all those URLs here to background data research and click on add URL. And all of those URLs will be added to background research data and to be considered while AI starts writing the content in new manner. So this is going to help you to, have your own custom background research. So as I said, spend most of your time on the outline step, because this is where you will put up all the important settings, all the important information before you start creating content all by itself. So make your custom research and then you start moving forward to the next step, and that is first draft or write yourself. So if you click on write yourself, you'll be directly taken to the editor where you can start writing all by yourself by just typing it at the editor. Or what you can do is you can also use a prompt facility to write the content. We have prompt facility, and it will again go into the top 20 ranking pages to generate content and not just haywire from anywhere. So let's say write an introduction on mastering employee training. I'm just showing you a random example. The answer should not be more than 100 words. And you can be specific or creative with your tone. You can enter the tone of writing and a lot of other things, and then generate the content. You can click on run prompt, and that is going to generate the content for you. So just hold on for maybe, yeah, here you go. So this is the content that has been created, and outranking will also give you the source of the URLs from where the content has been researched. So you know the content that has been generated is very much factual and which has the source to it. So this is one thing that you can do. Let me remove this content from here, and let's go back to outline. Let's say you don't want to do that. You don't want to write outline. You don't want to write content one by one using prompts. Rather, you would like to go ahead and click on first draft to generate the entire optimized first draft. Now, let me explain you creating content using prompts is not something that I would suggest, but yeah, for certain aspects, for certain outlines that you would like to do that using a prompt, that is great. But why you should generate content using first draft? It's very, very, simple answer to this question is that when you're generating SEO optimized first draft using outranking, outranking considers the first word that has been written on your editor till the time it starts writing further. So it takes into consideration the entire information that it has already written above, and then it writes moving forward. So the content is going to be very much in sync with all the outlines that are above and on the outline that it is writing right now. So you will see the sync in all the outlines, the familiarity, and everything is very much in in a straight line rather than if you're writing a prompt and generating content for every outline separately, there will be a sort of disconnect that you might feel in one way or the other. But you will not feel that disconnect if you are doing the same thing using an optimized SEO draft, because the content which will be generated which will be very much in sync from the first letter to the last letter that you're writing on your editor for all the outlines. So this is something very important, and that's why I suggest to use first draft for most of the things. And for let's say for certain questions which requires a very creative prompt, you can always use prompts. So now we are on the third step of the workflow, that is writing tools, and here we will generate a first draft. But before we do that, let's look into our presentation and let's go on to the third secret, that is tone of writing. So why this is a secret? Like everyone knows the tone of writing is always there, and you can do all of that with tone of writing. You can generate content in a specific manner that is already given. Why it's a secret for 2024? Let me explain much in detail. So AI is no longer a thing if used traditional. AI is everywhere. Everyone is using it. There is no wow factor to it anymore if you are using it traditionally. So let's say you are using a tool like informative or maybe friendly or maybe conversational, professional, user friendly. This is something that has been going around, since ages. Like even if you don't add any tone, it is going to write in a very informational manner, right? So it is very, very important that your tone should be a little specific and unique in nature to engage readers. Don't use the traditional method for tone of writing, rather use something very creative. Don't try to be very specific because that is going to change your use case as well. So try to be little specific in nature and unique, and it is going to generate some really good content for you. So tone of writing is very important in 2024 because people are using tone of writing as a very, very generic way, and that is not going to work moving forward in 2024. You need to be way more specific, and you need to use tone of writing way more thoroughly than you were using it before. So we have a very good article which is doing wonders for the traffic as well. I'm sharing the link in the chat here. You can look into it. It's a complete guide on tone of writing, so look into it, guys. It's going to help a lot. I've just shared to everyone in the chat. I hope you guys got it in the chat. So it has around 148 different types of tone and what type of tone you should use when. It gives you some very good information on that. So try to read this article, and this is definitely going to help you to understand how your tone should be for what sort of articles you are writing or what sort of page you are writing, and this is going to really do good for your content. So let's go ahead. And so this is the third secret, which is tone of writing that needs to be used more thoroughly than before. And let's go back here. And now we are on the third step of the workflow, that is writing tools. And here You can create your own style guide. Like you can say what should be the tone of writing, what should be the voice, how to use verbs, how to write comparison type sections, how to write about best products, how to answer all of the sections, additional details. So you can change all of this, and you can create your own style guide and use it every time you want to generate content. That's one way of doing things. But let's say you quickly want to change few parameters and give command to AI to write in a specific manner. You can do that as well. So let's say, for example, the tone of writing is right now friendly, which is so common. Like, even if you don't add any tone, it's going to write in a friendly manner, or maybe informational manner, right? So try to be specific here, or you can say friendly uh, uh, and as a training expert. So try to be little more specific with your tone, try to be a little more creative, and this is going to generate some really good content for you. So this is the tone of writing that I was talking about. And if you do that, it is going to generate the content which is going to be not so traditional, and it's going to be definitely different from what others are doing right now up till 2023. And this is something that you can do in 2024 and generate content which is very much different from what others are doing. So you can change other parameters here if you want to. Let's say as a employee training expert, and you can change more parameters, how to answer all of the sections. It says concisely with fewer and shorter sentences broken down into small passages. If you want more information, you can remove this, and you can say detailed information broken down into small passages, and it will write more information for you. So this is something that you can edit, and once you're done, click on these options. It will be automatically checked already. The tick mark, you will see the tick mark already, but just make sure there is tick mark once, and every time it will just save it for you, so you don't have to do it every time. But the first one is generate optimized first draft. So this is literally going to generate 60 to 70% optimized draft for you. So you're not generating a draft, you're generating an optimized draft. Secondly, generate originality suggestion. That is something that I will be revealing as one more secret moving forward. So let's quickly go ahead and click on generate first draft. And now Outranking will start creating content for you step by step right in front of you for all the outlines that we have. I'm not sure. Hence, why are you facing that issue? Mm, that shouldn't be the case though. I will get it checked, but yeah, you should definitely go ahead and open it up. There is no harm in opening up that link. It has been live from a very long time, and it is a very good reach as well. There's a lot of traffic on this particular link. Great, Eddie. So, okay. So, this complete guide on tone of writing, you should definitely look into it. That is going to help you a lot. And let's go ahead. So meanwhile, it's writing content for you, as you can see. We can quickly take some questions. Meanwhile, this is getting done. Any questions, guys, that you have? Meanwhile, please, raise your hand. I can unmute. You can say your question, or you can just type it in chat. Please let me know if you have any questions up till now. Guys, any questions up till now that you would like to talk about? Anything is great. Like, any doubts you have, please type it in chat, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Meanwhile, let's also look into the content that is getting written here. See, if you see, it will talk as an expert here. Like employee training might sound like a straightforward concept, but mastering it requires a deep understanding of several complex elements. Imagine a master employee training program as a multifaceted organism. It's not just about imparting knowledge, it's also about cultivating the skills and competencies your team needs to grow along with your organization. Such a program is strategically designed, meticulously implemented, and consistently refined to ensure alignment with your company's evolving goals. This sounds like someone is talking from the point of view who is an expert in doing training, right? So this is something very important. Like, every use case can be different. Like, for one article you would be writing something witty, for other article you might be writing something very professional yet easy to understand. So use tones which are really creative in nature and little specific as well. And the content that it will generate, it will automatically highlight the things which are really important, like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. So yeah, so the content is written here. We are done with creating the entire content, and we have written up till now 3625 words. You see the way it writes for you, like it's going to be very much in sync with how it has to be, right? So now it's generating originality suggestions for us. Okay, I get a question from Eddie. My question is originality. I find when I create a new document and let AI write it, originality is always green. But there are just suggestions. However, when I optimize an article, it is hard to improve originality score. I believe it's not working. Okay, I will explain you this, how it works, uh, and we will take it forward. So when we are creating content from scratch using AI assisted SEO writing, it is going to generate suggestions for you, and which is the reason that it is green in dot right now. So now we are on the fourth step of the workflow, that is optimize. And as Eddie said, like, I see that originality is good here. And when I am actually optimizing the content, it doesn't go really great. It might not be working, right? Like that's a question. So the 8% that you see here is based on, so it says the current originality score is 8%, while the target is 5%. The 8% that you see here is on the based on the suggestions that are given here. So let's say, for example, when you're using words like testimonial, flowchart, quotes, statistics, these are the words that are going to help you to get some brownie points on originality. But not just words. Along with that, you need to add something which is related to stats, or maybe quote, or maybe testimonial, or a review, right? So the score that you see right now is on the basis of the suggestion that are given here. If you are implementing any of the suggestions, then your score is going to be around 8%. But if you're just removing your suggestions and then you're publishing your content, you're not implementing any of the suggestion, then your originality score might not be 8%. And that is what it's trying to say here. And when you are optimizing an existing web page, you won't be, you obviously you are not creating content from scratch. So you will not see these suggestions straight away. But when you are optimizing existing content, you can go to originality and you can start exploring. By clicking on explore, you will get to see some suggestions wherever it's possible. So it will try and find out some suggestions on certain outlines that really make sense when it wants to generate some suggestions on it. Sometimes it might not generate any suggestions because it didn't find any suggestion to be given for that particular outline. So let's say, for example, if your outline is contact us, and if you try to explore it, you will not get any suggestions. Same way, there might be a lot of other H2s or H3s wherein you're trying to explore it, but you're not getting any suggestions, and that could be reason that it might not be relevant to generate a suggestion for that particular outline. So I will be showing, once we are done with this, I will quickly briefly show optimize existing web page, where I will show this suggestion how it comes up. So let's just hold on till then, and here we go. All right, so as you can see that now we have generated the content, and you will find these suggestions. This one, which is in bracket, along with that, you will find the suggestions as well. Suggestion 1, 2, 3. You will see this at almost all the H3s, which is going to help you to get some brownie points on originality. I will come on that in detail because that is the fourth secret that we will be talking about. Let's talk about the fourth secret right now, and that is add keyword based on user search intent. So as I said earlier as well, like gone are the days when content used to rank based on keywords. If you're still thinking that let me just pile up all the keywords and let me just put up the right keywords which are good and I can add them up, it's not going to work now. So let's say you have a list of keywords and you think that this all keywords go along with my content, and you would simply add them up by editing your content. This method was fine till 2023, but in 2024, if you think that these keywords are good and you would like to add them to your content, and if you start implementing them manually, you might be missing out on the most important part, that is whether those keywords are search intended or not. So putting up, let's say for example, you're writing about uh, you know uh, let's say a window. If you're writing about types of windows and what user, and you see the list of keywords, NLP terms, related keywords, search intent, you will see keywords like aluminum, you will see keywords like iron, or maybe something else. A lot of keywords are related to material, or maybe measurements. And also you will find keywords like black, brown, which may come out, from the top 20 pages, and it might show that black window or black aluminum window is something that is good, and you can definitely add black keyword somewhere, which really makes sense in your content. So you can easily add black in it, right? But that is not going to help you out. You're just adding a keyword and putting up a word in your content. But if you think that adding up a black aluminum window and just targeting black, and you will getting a good score out of it, that's not going to work. So try to add keywords which are user intended and not something that just goes with your content. So, that is something that you need to look into. Add keywords that are highly relevant from users' perspective. Rest all, just ignore it. So let's quickly go ahead, and we are on the fourth step of the workflow, that is optimize. And let's refresh the SEO score once again. The SEO score is 67. The target is 76. So you need to achieve at least 76, but you can definitely go above. You can go above 85, 90, 95 as well. And these are all the SEO elements that you need to optimize one by one. And you can click on see more and you will see all the SEO elements which are here. Everything that is in green dot is already well SEO optimized, so you don't have to worry about it. Everything in red or maybe yellow is something that you need to optimize it further. So if you see yellow somewhere, that doesn't mean that you have to go in and do something forcefully and achieve a green dot here. That is not going to work. So if it's yellow, just leave it yellow if it matches your use case. But if you find a red one, a red dot here, that definitely means that you definitely need to look into it and give a thought and add some suggestions from that particular tab. So yeah, so don't force yourself to put everything into green dot. That is first thing. Now let's look into the common terms, which has all the NLP terms, related keywords, semantic variations, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the fourth secret of SEO in 2024. So you can see that these are all the keywords that you can try and target, in your content. Now, if you see that, the one that you are a green tick mark, you are already using it. And if you click here, that will highlight it for you where you are using it as well. And, the typical range is 1 to 9. So you need to use anywhere in between. You are using it 5 times. So that's great. You are in that range. But if you're going little above, so the requirement is 1 to 5, and you're using it 7 times. So that's a little bit overboard. That's still fine. But if it is 9, 10, or 11 here, you should definitely think or just rethink to reduce that particular keyword. So that's one thing. Secondly, so let's say, for example, feedback, the requirement is just 1 to 6 times. And while you're using it 25 times, this is too much, right? So try to remove this word from your content and try to be in this range. So overdoing a word is not going to help as well. Now, moving forward, onboarding is something that goes with employee training, so you can definitely add, and which will relate with the user as well. Now, moving forward, you will see certain keywords like format. The typical use is one to one. Just because you see it here, don't try to add it in your content. This is not going to help. It also tells you how many computers are using this particular keyword in their content. 3 pages. So it says out of 23 web pages are using format in their particular content. So try to add keywords which are really used by a lot of pages. So 9, 8, 7, 5, up till then, it's fine. But if it's been used in just 2, 3 pages, don't try to add them. If you think that you are just adding keywords, it's not going to help. 1 to 2 seminar, it's not something that is going to do good to your content for employee training. So yeah, try to add things which really make sense and then move forward. So this is the common term that will literally help you out to understand like what you should add and what not, and then you can move forward. Also, when you use automatic optimization, you can so automatic optimization is something that is going to be very useful when you want to optimize your content quickly. So I will show that as well. Let's quickly go ahead and let's go on to our fifth SEO secret for 2024, that is evolving EEAT. So earlier, when Google came up with this concept, and that is almost 1.5, 2 years old, that is EEAT, that is the algorithm that they follow. That is expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. That is also getting evolved day by day. It's not that it is going to stay as it is. It has changed a lot of times with the updates that they have given. Though they are still following EEAT, but the EEAT that they were following maybe 4 months back, they are not following now. They are following something different, same in the same line of EEAT, but it is more advanced now and more specific. So, you know, the first thing that comes into the mind is flaunt that you are an expert and experienced writer. And this is something very important to show Google, and that's how it will understand that this person is writing something legitimate and this needs to be ranked. So, how you will flaunt it out? So, these are the suggestions that we were talking about that will help you to flaunt yourself, which says that you are expert and experienced about this topic, and that's why you are implementing certain suggestions. Insert quote or statistics supporting the importance to retain employees by training investments. So it says that you can simply remove this and you can add a code here. So also I would say that only implement suggestion if they make really sense to you. Otherwise, you can simply remove this particular part here and don't do anything. And let's look into the other suggestions as well. So suggestion one here is include a compelling quote from recognized industry leader or expert on the importance of employee training to add authority and relevance to the argument. Display a relevant GIF or graphic that visually represents the transformation of an employee pre and post training, which can make the content more engaging and relatable. Integrate a bar chart or a graph showing statistics of employees' retention rates correlating with training investments to provide concrete data that backs up the claim made in the text. So the suggestions, if you look it closely, they are very much in uh, sync with the content that needs to be written by someone who is experienced and who is expert about the topic. Along with that, it is adding trustworthiness when you're adding stats, when you're adding rates correlating with training investments. This shows that you have done your research and you're putting up things which really important for the readers. So the suggestions that you will see uh, are based on expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness of a particular content. So try to implement that suggestion, and this is going to help and understand and identify, like Google will be able to identify that this person who is writing this content is knowledgeable about the topic and who is, experienced as well. So this is the thing that you need to understand and try to implement this. So you will find the suggestions at almost all the places. We are constantly refining the suggestions. So we have given a quick update 1 week back where we have, incorporated some more suggestions here. So you will get to see some really more variety of suggestions moving forward into to add originality and uniqueness to your content. So if you're adding this, so also one more thing, like you can do this like we can do this by using AI as well, right? Like there's nothing great science about it, right? Like I can do this, I can implement any of the suggestion using AI. But that is not the context here. That is not what we require. Outranking wants you to write this all by yourself manually. And that is how you are going to add human touch, human perspective, human idea, and human way of doing things when you are doing it all by yourself and implementing any of the suggestions. So this is how you're going to add originality to your content. This is how you're going to add uniqueness along with expertise and experience to your content. So do this manually. You don't have to use AI for doing this certain things. And that is how it's going to actually help. So the first slide that you see where I talk about Handshake by an AI robot and a human being, that's where this comes into place. Like, AI will do 70-80% of your work, but the rest 30-20% is something that you will have to do it all by yourself and add the value that needs to be there in the content, which will bring in originality to your content. So you need to do this all by yourself, whether you like it or not, whether you would like to spend some time it or not. But if you do this, definitely this is going to help you out to rank better. So this is one thing that needs to look into. And let's quickly go ahead. Yeah, uh, add a link to your profile along with the writer's photo and occupation. So once you publish the content, make sure at the bottom you are adding a link to your profile, the profile of the writer, along with the photo, along with the name, in a very specific manner or in a way which is highlighting it and not just putting up a name somewhere at the bottom to show. And that is what most of the people were doing up till now, and that is not going to work. You need to show off yourself. You need to show that this is a person who is doing this, this is the person, this is the occupation, and this is the link wherein you can go and see what the person is all about and what he does or she does. So make sure that you have a typical section at the bottom where you are showcasing who is doing this writing or editing work and what is the profile that is connected with that person. And this is going to add the trustworthiness for Google to understand that the content written is written by a person who is really good at it. So these are the 5 SEO secrets that are definitely going to work in 2024. And once you are done with this, let me show quickly automatic optimization. Let me just mess up with the title. Let me mess up with the description as well. Let's quickly go back. Now you see there are a lot of, red dots here. Also, let's remove few of the outlines quickly. So we have less outlines. All right, let's remove this much. Let's refresh the SEO score once again. And now you see the heading has turned into yellow as well. The SEO score has dropped as well. Now, let's say you are in a situation where you are similar to this and you would like to do something really quick. You can click on automatic optimization and then you can select everything that you want to optimize at a go. Just click on start. And now outranking will generate optimized suggestions for you. So these are all optimized suggestions. Select the one that really makes sense to you, which could be added as title. You click on accept, and the title is replaced here. And now it will start creating the description for you, which is already optimized. So the suggestion that you will get here are already optimized. So this is a suggestion. You can edit it here if you want to, or you can simply accept it. You can regenerate more suggestions as well. Once you accept, description is added here. And now you're moving on to the third part, that is add number of headings. So it says that you have just 12 headings and you need to add more headings. So what outranking will do is it will literally, uh, you know, write more sections for you. It will come up with more ideas that you can add in the form of H2s and H3s. So everything that you see in the blue here are the new ideas that outranking has come up with. You can delete the one that you don't want. You can edit it from here and just select the one that you want to go ahead with. Let's say, let me just add few here so that we can quickly go ahead and move forward. Let's say we just add FAQs and go ahead. So let's say these are the 3 outlines that you would like to add moving forward. You can click on remove everything that you don't like. You can edit it from here and simply click on accept all. Now outranking will not just add the outlines, but it will also write the content for you. So it is going to write all the FAQs for you. But yeah, as I said, FAQs is something that you need to do it all by yourself and add something creative to it, like examples, statistics, charts, and that is definitely going to help you to get better FAQs. So now you see the content is written for all the FAQs that were listed. And now it's moving forward to adding missing common terms. Let's refresh it one more time. It does not find. So, okay. So sometimes you will see that the common terms by using, add missing common, by using automatic optimization, it does not generate any suggestions. Sometimes it might happen. And the reason behind that is like, outranking will try to add keywords which are really general in nature or which are really needed for employee training topic. It will not try and add keywords which are just used in one or two pages, out of the top 20 pages. So it will not try to add those keywords, because at the end of the day, if it tries and forces to add those keywords in your content, you might be compromising or sacrificing on your content somewhere or the other. So it will try to add keywords which are really good and which are, very much generic in nature, which has been used a lot of times by your competitors. And it will try to add multiple keywords for you. So for this particular H3, which says decoding the definition of master employee training program, this is the content below it, and it will try and rewrite the entire content for you in a way which targets this many keywords. You can click on accept. If you review it and if it looks good, you can click on accept. The content is replaced. And now you're moving forward to the next one, that is this H3, critical importance of employee training in today's workplace. Look into it. If it looks good, after reviewing, click on accept, or you can simply discard it as well and generate more suggestions if you want to. And this way you can add only things which really make sense to your use case, and rest you can just remove it and move forward. It will try and add more suggestions, more keywords for you if it's possible. Otherwise, it will simply get done with it. So this is something that you can do using automatic optimization by quickly optimizing all the SEO elements which are mentioned here. Also, let me quickly show you like internal links. You can add your sitemap here, and this will generate all the anchor text keywords and link that you can add up here. External links, it says try to add at least 2 external links from different domains to your content. And this shows Google that you are not insecure and you are trying to add things from different domains to your content and giving more value to your users. Videos, try to add one video. It can be an embedded YouTube video, that's fine as well. Tables, try to add at least one table, and this is one of the table that your computers have used, and this is something not relevant as well, but yeah, your computers is using it. Stats, so try to add stats, figures and numbers in your content. You already have 25, so you're good to go. Requirement is 18 plus. Lastly, there is a plagiarism inbuilt scanner as well. You can run a plagiarism scan. I'm not running this right now because this will take almost 10 minutes. But once you run the plagiarism scan, it will tell you what is the plagiarized score. Anything above 6 or 7 is not good. So if that is the case, there is an option fix with AI. It will, if you click on it, it will fix the plagiarized content on your editor. So once you're done with everything, you can move on to the last step in the workflow, that is publish. And here you will see that you can download images in zip file. You can download markdown version, clean HTML version. There is a WordPress plugin available that you can use. There's an API key in your settings. You can copy the API key and you can install the plugin of outranking in WordPress and paste the API key there, and you will be able to import the entire article on one click. You can also create draft or even publish the article right from here by just putting a website category and publishing the URL from here. So you can also download a doc file. You can copy all the content and simply paste it. If you're not using WordPress and something else, you can simply paste it in another editor. This is going to copy everything like tags, images, videos, everything that you have put up here. All in zip will download everything about in zip file. You can also generate a Google Doc by just clicking on this link. There is also a share option here wherein you can share this article with your team, give edit view rights, and they can start working on it collaboratively. Also, I see a lot of people miss out on this. Like, there is a last save option here. You click on it and it will give you all the versions of your content that you have created. If you want to restore any of them, you can simply click on restore, and this is going to restore the content which was created earlier. Also, there is a table of content here. You click on it, it will show you all the outlines. You click there and it will take you directly there. So these are the important things that you can look into it and generate content which will help you to rank better. So yeah, that's about it, guys. And let me quickly show, there was a question earlier by Eddie. So let me try and find the type that I can show. Let's say this one. So this is an optimizing existing web page. I'm optimizing existing web page. Let's go to originality. And you see, these are the suggestions. So if I click on, let's say, uh, commercial roller shutters provide the best security for your business. Here you go. So here are some suggestions for this. And you can implement this suggestion under this particular H2. If you click on accept, the suggestions will be added to your uh, outline. Here you go. So you can look at it, in an easy way and then implement them, which makes sense to you. And this is the entire graph of your top 20 competitors along with the uniqueness score every web page has, which is already ranking. The target is minimum 11%, and right now you already have 15. So this is something that you can do by exploring more H2s and H3s and get some ideas of what additional you can do here manually, which is going to add more brownie points to your content. I hope this helps. So when inserted, the score of originality will go up. Yes, but don't be in the delusion that your score is good. So it is going up because you are adding those suggestions on your editor. But when you actually implement them, that's where your score will go up. Uh, when Google is indexing your content, when it looks into it, that's where your originality score is going up. It is trying to show you on outranking, like when you click on accept, the suggestions are on the editor. It's trying to show you that if you're implementing them, your originality score is going to go up, and that's what it is showing. But in actual sense, it will only go up when you are actually implementing them and when you publish the content. I hope this answers the question, Eddie. Any other questions, guys, that you have, please drop in here. We are almost done with the webinar. Anything that I can help you with, please let me know. You're welcome, Eddie. Anyone with any questions? Guys, do let me know here, and we can look into it quickly, or we can simply get done with this webinar. All right, guys. So let's get done with this, and thank you all for joining in. And we are also going to have one more webinar on strategist next week, most probably. So I will keep you all posted how you can add your domain, how you can track the keywords, the opportunity of keywords, which keywords you should target, uh, you know, all of that. We will be talking about that. I'll be having one more webinar specifically on that. So yeah, I will keep all you in loop as well for this particular webinar that we will be doing. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Yes, Eddie. Yes, Eddie. I'm definitely doing that. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And yes, happy weekend, guys. Thank you.